Kutztown formation. So called because it forms as water flows down through the earth and stone above. Then as it drips off the ceiling, it deposits some minerals here at the top, forming anybody know this? Stalactite. The top. Then it, yeah, you got it. Then it drips down, deposits more minerals at the bottom, forming a stalagmite. If you didn't get that, easy way to remember it, stalactite is at the top. It holds tight to the ceiling. Stalagmite's the other one. But as long as you remember stalactite at the top, you should remember both of them. Now, they are slowly growing toward each other. Eventually they could meet and form a column. But that might take thousands of years. So we're not going to wait for this column to grow. We have a column later on the tour.
I'm not sure why these people aren't coming in, but...
Alright, storage room. Storage room is the smallest room on the tour, and it's called the storage room for one basic reason. Because the two farmers who discovered the cave, they thought they could store their crops in here. Now it's called like a refrigerator, sounds like a good idea, but it's also very damp. Their crops spoiled, it didn't work out for the farmers. We still say we can see some crops hanging up here. Maybe some green beans, maybe a moldy carrot. But over here, my favorite cave crop is our tasty cave bacon. As you may have guessed, not real bacon. Would have been eaten by now. It's a formation known as drapery. There's some pretty ribbon drapery up there. And some more ribbon drapery right there. It's white from the calcite.
Tyler.
What's down there, Mom?
It's a fall waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Now there's a stone up above our heads. This is a drop stone. Now that means a stone that fell during the last major earthquake, and that was an estimated 500,000 years ago when it fell down from a ceiling up above us. There's a room up above us. There's a peekaboo hole here up to there. If you can't see it now, don't worry. Later in the tour, on the return, we're going to pass over the top of the stone and see the room up above. This is the crystal ballroom. It's called the crystal ballroom for a couple of reasons. The first one is the farmers who discovered the cave. They were exploring with their lanterns. They looked up here and they saw some crystals sparkling. And they said, wow, can we be rich? Let's get these down to a jeweler and see. Well, the answer they got down at the jeweler's was, you're not rich. These are worth about as much as table salt. That's because they are six-sided calcite crystals. They sparkle in the light, but they're not valuable. And even like salt, they would dissolve in water, but are protected by that overhanging rock from moisture that we call the totem pole. Maybe you see a face or two up at the top here. And then some people say that you can see Donald Duck down there. And it's an estimated 500,000 years old, oldest such formation in the cave. As you see Mickey Mouse? See what that is? As we come back across the ceiling, we have some little stalactites that are called soda straw stalactites. That's because they're actually hollow on the inside. You can break one off and sip a soda through. You probably wouldn't want to because it would taste salty and not very good. Over to the left side, we have the largest body of water in Crystal Cave. But it's less than a gallon of water, so we call it Lake Inferior because it's not so big. But it's not just any little puddle of water. Around its outer edge is forming calcite brimstone. Eventually it could harden over like a lake freezing over in winter, be a solid stalagmite. Came up that trench there. So tours were much different back then, much more dangerous. Only 5 or 6 people would be in a tour group, and you would have a rope tied around your waist, be tied to the person in front of you, and along the line until you were tied to your guide. That way if someone fell down on the tour into a rocky crevice or something, hopefully the rest of the tour could drag you back up by the rope. Unless you were bigger than everybody, then the whole tour went down. Tours are much safer, but still be careful on... Actually, look at one more thing. On the other side, if you look over that railing to the other side, there's a path going down here, down there. So tours back then used to go down that path, and it hooks a left down there, and there's a little room in behind there, and that's where the signature room is. So that's where people on those original tours, when they made it all the way back here and got back in that side passage, would sign their names back there. Alright, that's why there's so many stalactites up there, 200 to 300 stalactites. So for a point of reference, in the Crystal Ballroom, we were 125 people at our service. Rainfall takes 4 to 5 days to reach that. There weren't as many drips there, there weren't as many stalactites. Here it only takes 1 to 2 days, there's a lot more water, a lot more stalactites. So Matt's tour is coming up the stairs behind us. Once they get up here, we will all do lights out together. And when we get to that point, which will just be in a couple minutes now,